Hi everybody, Max Locato here. Boy, I wish you were here with me. Beautiful western Colorado, a delightful evening. But since you can't be here with me, I thought I'm just going to capture this message with this gorgeous setting behind me, hoping and praying that you'll be reminded that the same God who made these skies and these mountains is the God who loves you, and you're never alone. And if he is able to make a universe like this, don't you think he's able to make sense out of the many challenges and the struggles that you face in your life? I'm going to take probably going to need about 7 minutes of your time to share with you an example of Jesus' loving care for unexpected recipients. Can you give me those 7 minutes? If you can't, man, I certainly get it. You got a lot going on. We all do. So much happening. Please, before you slip out, would you post your prayer needs, and just let us know how to pray for you. In the early days of the church, there was this impassable gulf that yawned between Jews and Gentiles. Simply put, a Jew could not drink milk drawn by Gentiles, could not eat their food, could not have fellowship. Jews could not aid a Gentile mother in her hour of need. I mean, they were separated. Jewish physicians could not even attend to non-Jewish patients. No Jew would have anything to do with a Gentile. I mean, it was severe. It was severe. They were considered unclean, unless that Jew, of course, was Jesus. And Jesus was a friend to the outcast. He was a friend to the marginalized. He was a friend to the friendless. He hung out with the unpopular. He hung out with the homeless, with the sick, with the neglected. He hung out with the woman at the well. The woman at the well was everything described by those words, and she was everything everybody was gossiping about. Do you know her story in John chapter 4? By the time Jesus met her, she was a first century version of a downward spiral. 5 ex-husbands, half a dozen kids, gossipers wagged their tongues every time they saw her. How else can we explain the fact that she showed up midday to get water at the well? Other women filled their buckets in the cool of the morning at sunrise, maybe in the cool of the evening, but this woman opted for noon, preferring, I suppose, the heat of the sun over the heat of their scorn. Were it not for the appearance of a stranger, her story would have never found its way into our conversation. It would have been lost in the Samaritan sands. But Jesus entered her life. He entered her life with a promise of endless water and quenched thirst. He wasn't put off by her past. He wasn't put off by her societal position. Just the opposite. He offered to make music out of her life. And you know what? She accepted his offer. We know that because of what happened next. I hope you got to read all of John chapter 4. Many Samaritans from that village believed in Jesus because the woman had said, "He told me everything I ever did." And when they came out to see him, they begged him to stay in their village. And so he stayed. He stayed for 2 days, long enough for many more to hear his message and become believers. And then they said to one another, or they said to the woman, "Now we believe, not just because of what you said, but because we have experienced him ourselves. We heard him ourselves. Now we know that he indeed is the Savior of the world." Oh my goodness, what a text. Just take this from it today, and that is the woman who was on the margin became the woman with the message. The woman who was on the margin became the woman with the message. Why? Because Jesus showed up. Jesus gave her the chance of a lifetime. He came for people like her. He came for people like you. He came for people like me. He came for us all. Ask her, are you ever alone? Her answer would be no. No. the living Lord appeared to me and changed me forever. My friend, let him do the same with you. Let him speak hope into whatever hopeless situation you face, and just trust him and believe you are never alone. God bless.